Hello YouTube. In this video I'm going to show you how to perform a clean install of Ubuntu Linux alongside Windows. In order to do this, well, first off, you're going to want to make sure you put in the disk for Linux. As you can see, this is loaded up in and running Windows right now. As soon as I go to machine reset, it'll be just like as if I'd rebooted the system. Now you're going to notice it comes up with the Ubuntu installer. Just like in previous videos where you have the option to try Ubuntu or install Ubuntu, we're going to click on the install. And you're going to see that it shows it has at least 5.3 and is connected to the internet. Select download updates while installing and select install third-party software and click continue. Now this is where it gets kind of tricky. You see where it says install type. Install Ubuntu alongside Windows 7. Documents, music, other personal files will be kept. You can choose which operating system you want each time the computer starts up. What that actually is that it uses Wooby, seeing as how they now include Wooby in the installer file. That will use Wooby, and we don't want to do that. I already have a video on how to install Windows using Wooby, and it installs Linux into Windows instead of alongside. And then you have replace Windows 7 with Ubuntu. You don't want to do that because this go around we're wanting Windows to be on there, so you're going to select something else in order to get a clean install of Linux alongside Windows. Now when it comes up, you're going to see this NTFS 69561. That is your Windows install. Now in order to change that, you're going to click change right here, and instead of do not use this partition, you're going to make it NTFS, and the mount point is going to be Windows. We're going to change that to 30561. That'll give it a 30 gig partition for Windows and 30 gig for Ubuntu. Click continue. Now we're going to select this free space here. As you can see right there's the Windows partition that we just shrunk down. Click on the plus sign on the free space. Okay, and we're going to set this size to we'll do 3402 and set the mount point to /. Click OK. And now to create our ext partition with the / at 34 gig, and we have almost 5 gig free to set up our swap file in. Standard rule of thumb with Linux, if you're going to run it as a desktop and not use the suspend function or sleep function, you can make the swap file the same size as the amount of RAM that you have in the system. Otherwise, you want to make it 1.5 times the size, so that way you have plenty of room for the hibernation and the sleep ability and everything else. Okay, so now to create the swap partition, see how it made that 5,000, drop it down to match the number 49999. And then this is going to be the swap area. Click OK. Now you'll see this is ext4 with a mount point / and this is swap. Select that ext4 with the mount point / and click install now. Then of course we're going to have to set up the time zone. We're in Chicago. Chicago works. We're in Central Time Zone, so just click continue. Basically, you just want to make sure that the time zone that you're in is the one that's selected. And for the keyboard, whatever it defaults to is generally the best one to go with. Click continue. It's pretty good now about detecting the keyboard properly. Since how this is the test system and it's a virtual machine, we're just going to name this lab. Make the password 12345. and that'll go through the install. Now that it's at the point for restart, you just hit the restart now. It'll go ahead and reboot the machine. And then from here you can pick either Ubuntu or Windows, and it'll boot into either or. That is the best method for doing a clean install of Linux alongside Windows. It's actually better for you to go in and use something like AOMEI Partition Assistant or something like that to shrink your Windows partition size down to give yourself room for Linux. It's better to do that in Windows than to do it with Linux. But you can do it the way I just did with Linux and it'll work just fine. See, right there's Linux up and running on this machine. I can also do a reset and force it to go to Windows. Tell it to go to Windows this time. Start normally. And now you can boot, as you can see right here, you can boot from boot to Windows or Linux on the same drive, on the same system, and you can run either or, whichever one you need. It's going to do the system file check. That's fine. Let it do it. It's going to be all right. It's just freaking out because the partition is smaller than what it said it was. This information's out there for absolutely everybody, and as always, watch, like, and share. Have a great day.